Welcome to Algebra International Summer School. This year, our students had the possibility to participate in 6 courses: cybersecurity, digital marketing, creating a detailed project in 3D, digital sculpting fundamentals, data-driven storytelling, or mobile application development. Apart from that, students were able to participate in 2 free workshops: Croatian language and culture and financing early-age startups.
My enthusiasm was mostly on cybersecurity, and before coming I had a lot of questions on my head, and thanks, most of them were answered. They really met my expectation.
Algebra University College is already part of the Erasmus program, so we already have the experience with foreign students. But having the students from all over the world in the program helps algebra to make an influence on a wider scale.
I'm very content with the people that came on my group. There are definitely people that come with a little less knowledge than somebody else, but they put more effort in it. I think we all pulled the best out of us in these 3 weeks.
I was also absolute beginner, and the teacher was just amazing. All the theoretical stuff I learned in school about object-oriented programming, everything just got into practical. Now everything just makes sense and it's amazing.
Digital marketing course is very applicable, so every new knowledge and every new skill you gain, you can apply later in your career, no matter what you're doing now. Students were very engaged, trying to solve different case studies about big brands and different markets, so it was a mixture of experiences, trying to help students from other countries to solve the problems of brands in their own countries, a lot of discussion and a lot of fun.
I took digital marketing here, and I think that the class allowed me to gain very valuable skills in such a technologically advanced world that we're living in now. And although I did study science beforehand, I think that this is incredibly applicable no matter what career you're going into.
The sequence of this course was that we started the first week in the capital of Zagreb, and then the second week went to Šibenik, which is a coastal city, and I honestly had the best time there. Every morning before class we would go to the beach, so it was a long day of just relaxing and then studying, and it was unlike anything I've ever done, and it made just this whole experience just that much better.
You know, having lectures the whole day long was slightly annoying because then you couldn't stay, on the beach the whole day long. But you could go before class and after class, and then you feel, I live here, I get to go to the beach in the morning, in the evening, I can enjoy the sea and the city, and I truly enjoyed it.
Actually, that's probably one of the most interesting things about coming here. You meet people from bunch of different backgrounds, different countries, different ages as well. This is really interesting because apart from good friends, we also do a good networking with them, and you never know what's going to happen in the future. So it's always nice to meet this kind of people.
Given the fact that students come from a varieties of studies and varieties of backgrounds, it not only enriches the logic of work, but it also brings a higher focus to the learning outcomes and to the courses as well. For me personally, as a lecturer, it's the greatest pleasure to get to know the students and help them achieve their own goals that will aid them in the future.
The classes are really small. There are 6 to 8 people in each class, so the approach of the professor is very individual. I think it helps us to evolve very quickly, and you can learn much more than in your normal university, because when there is a class of 30 people, then the teacher doesn't really have time to speak to everyone.
It's been great and exciting to have people work on various different projects depending on from where they come from, and take different approaches to the same projects. Like we've been doing a self-portrait, but everyone's done it, slightly differently, and you can really tell with the differences. So it's such an enrichment, and it just comes together as a more richer and deep experience working in a group like that.
When you're listening to demos from YouTube, you don't get to participate. You don't get interaction from the professor or the person who's doing the demos. But here you can, just ask him and tap him and ask him why is this and that, and then he will do the demo here and there, and then he will have these exercises for you to work on, and you can do it in your own pace, like after the school if you had time.
The database storytelling was quite data-based, which is also quite interesting because we learned a lot about how to visualize data and how to make even the most boring data in the world quite interesting for the audience.
I enjoyed watching influence of data-driven storytelling course to the students' presentations, and students rewarded me with stunning stories from various areas of their respective interests. I learned a lot from them. They exceeded my expectations, and I'm proud of them.
The main structure of the workshop that I'm teaching is around startups. And the students have, I think, understood very well the basic structure of that format to build out their business model and kind of create a way to think about their project in structured terms. So we try to cover in a pretty informal and relaxed way all the key points that future entrepreneurs need to think about when they're thinking about starting their companies, regardless of whether they're now in their first or second years in university or maybe already finishing.
We had a chance to experience how to pitch our startup ideas in front of those experts and our classmates. This was my first time to formulate a startup idea in such a short period of time.
We came up with this idea to make an app for university, and how do you get students engaged and things like that, and it was really cool to present within 2 minutes and take a lot of questions which you really don't think about, but then make your way through and make answers. So it was like being a CEO for 2 weeks.
Increased number of students that visited our summer school this year shows a huge interest in the area that we are covering, and this is making us consider introducing new courses for the next year in order to receive even more students. And we are really happy and privileged to have you in Zagreb and in Croatia, and hope to see you next year again.